All right. So I'm going to ask for a volunteer now. We're going to talk about your ideal prospect. So I want to have a volunteer that can describe in concrete terms the type of prospect that would be ideal. Okay, do we have Mark? He's on the phone.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mark. Thank you for volunteering.
Yeah, thank you for having me on today.
Okay, so tell us, Mark, the company that you're with, what do you do?
I work for Payday Workforce Solutions, and we are a human capital management company. We bring payroll, HR, time and attendance on one single platform for business owners from 20 employees up to 2,000 employees. So
okay, so I'm going to tell you right now that's too wide, okay, because 20 to 2,000 employees, too big. So you're going to have to narrow it down.
So I'd say probably our market target is right around 100 employees.
Okay. So what's if the target is 100, what's the minimum?
50.
Okay, minimum's 50, and so we're going what, 50 to 150 employees, somewhere in there?
That sounds good. Let's go with that.
Okay. And you might want to check this with your sales manager when we're off the phone, because if you do need to be accurate.
Oh, of course.
But the point I want to make to everybody, again, if you're calling a business owner at a company that has 20 employees, whatever service you might be trying to introduce, that employer that has 20 employees has different issues than if you call an employer that has 2,000 employees. You cannot say the same thing to both of them. All right? So I believe that you have a geographic area that you work in. Is that correct?
Yeah,
okay,
we have assigned territories.
Okay. So what's your territory?
I have Orange, California. It's probably about 5 zip codes.
Okay. And any particular type of industry that you target?
I think right now I've been targeting a lot of home care facilities, doctor practices, law firms, and construction companies.
Okay. So those are different markets. Home care and doctors, similar. Construction and attorneys, different. You can't say the same thing to an attorney that you're going to say to the construction company.
Yeah, so everything has a little bit of different of what the product that we offer. I pull something that kind of fits in that industry.
Okay. So what is the title of the person that you need to talk to?
It can be either the HR director, the CEO, or if it's down to 50 employees, depending on the way the culture's run, it could be the owner or the president.
Okay. I'm willing to bet, Mark, in most instances, if you're calling companies that have 50 to 150 employees, you want the owner of the company.
Okay.
It's just not that big. If you're calling a company that has 2,000 employees, yeah, they probably have an HR or a personnel director or something like that that has some autonomy. If you're calling a company that only has 50, 75, 100 people, I'm willing to bet that the owner is pretty involved, and that's where you'd want to go first. And that owner might call himself or herself a president, a CEO, but they're still the owner.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So thank you. Anything else, I guess I should ask you about these type of prospects that you're targeting?
No, it's just usually what it does is we usually do a campaign, 7-touch campaign, and we try to get them when they're in buying mode. I think that's probably the biggest thing for me right now personally is trying to find that customer that's in buying mode, because it just seems like everything moves so much faster as opposed to you're calling somebody and they're happy with their service and trying to get to that point to where they see your information that you have to bring them value. That's kind of where I'm stuck, personally.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, and this is for Mark and for everyone. When you are trying to figure out who you should be contacting, you cannot figure out if they're in buying mode. I mean, there are some resources I'm going to give you that you can take a look at that will help you figure that out. But lots of times you cannot figure that out. The only thing that you could do is identify suspects that meet your parameters of what makes a good contact for you, and you start to contact them.
Okay.
And what happens over time, let's say you call someone, you have a conversation, they're not in buying mode right now, but that's okay because you can find out when they will be, and you can have another conversation with them later. So the idea here is we're not looking for somebody that is going to buy today, because that's very hard. You're looking for people that meet the parameters of an ideal prospect for you, and you're trying to get them into your funnel so that ultimately they will become customers and clients. And when you do this consistently over time, you'll have more and more of them in buying cycles because you've already talked to them. But at the beginning, it's very hard to find those people. Does that make sense, Mark?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for volunteering. This is going to be your assignment, every single one of you. This is your assignment, and this is in the workbook, that you're going to create your ideal prospect profile. And you do need to be very concrete. We had two people, Mark and Jerry, were both pretty concrete about who they were looking for. And so I want you to do exactly the same thing. The assignments are in the workbook. It is vitally important to create this profile to know who you're talking to. And if you're calling in different markets, Jerry's calling in different markets, Mark's calling in different markets, they need to create different profiles, because you can't say the same thing to a buyer that you're going to say to a seller. And you can't say the same thing to an attorney that you're going to say to a construction company. So you need to take it step by step, hit one, and start there.